Hi, I'm Stuart from the Norfolk Honey Company and welcome back to our season-long sponsored apiary where we've been sponsored this year by Happy Valley Honey, who are the sole UK distributors of the Honey Paw polystyrene Langstroth hive, and we've been very grateful to have been given a range of the Honey Paw products by Paul at Happy Valley Honey to try out and test this season. And they've worked out really well. We've managed to complete several shook swarms and create new colonies in these Langstroth hives from some of our commercial hives. And we've also introduced queens into them and also used a pollen trap. And we've got various videos that you can check out from this season in our playlist. Today we're back at the apiary to check up on a queen that we released about a week or so ago. We introduced a new queen in a queen cage to one of the colonies here, and we've just come back towards the end of the season now to have a look to see that she is now settling in and laying properly. We've got a decent laying pattern and hopefully we've got eggs and brood. So we're going to go through into the apiary. It is one of the grumpier colonies that we've got, and that was one of the reasons why we're requeening. So hopefully as time goes on, the colony will settle down and that temper will change to a more manageable temper. So let's light the smoker and head off into the apiary. So this is our Happy Valley Honey Paw 10 frame Langstroth Poly Hive. So the brood box takes 10 brood frames, and at the moment we've got it set up with a feeder on the top as well. This is a migratory roof which we can use to stack the colonies a little bit closer together if we're moving them, which is always useful. And as I say, these bees are a little bit on the feisty side, and that's why we've requeened them. One of the reasons we've requeened them. They're bringing in a fair amount of pollen at the moment. It looks like they're probably on ivy, which is bright yellow pollen, and they've taken down all of the feed that was in the feeder, so we probably end up taking that away over the next week or so. So let's just pop in, have a look and see if we can see that the queen has settled down and is laying eggs. Just give them a little bit of smoke just underneath the feeder before we take that away. Pop that on the floor. One of the advantages of this particular hive is that all of the materials are very light, so it makes it very easy to handle if you happen to be like me, if you've got a bad back, or if you struggle with lifting anything heavy. You can see the bees are just coming up almost constantly, so we need to keep the smoke going over the top just to try and suppress them a little bit. I suspect that the queen will be laying in the middle and towards the side nearest the camera, just because that's the way the sun comes round. But as you can see, the bees are really not the nicest. It's still quite warm, so it's not because it's cold or stormy. This is just the way these bees happen to be, unfortunately. And you can see that they kind of fly up. They're not actively looking to sting, but they just fly up and they're all around the veil at the moment. So we'll try and get this inspection done with the minimum of fuss. Ouch! So not the friendliest of bees. However, we are, I'm pleased to say, straight into a brood nest here. So we've got some capped brood and quite a large area of open brood, so I'm very pleased that the queen has settled in and is now laying a fairly decent brood nest area. So here you can see that the queen, this is where the queen started laying, because we've got the oldest brood here, so that's capped, so that will probably be certainly over 8 days old, and then we've got younger larvae to the outside, and we have eggs around the outside edge as well. So that's really good news. So we'll have a look at one more frame, because these bees are particularly feisty. We'll just turn this frame the right way round, make sure that the frame goes back in the right way, and the easiest way to identify which way round it should go, let's just get these bees calmed down again, is where they make these small bridges between the frames, and you can match those up quite nicely. So let's have a look at just one more frame. And here we've got more capped brood, which is good, and then around the outside of that we have young larvae and eggs. There's some eggs over this side as well. And in fact we've got the queen on this frame. She's just gone through to the other side, so I'll just see if we can spot her. It appears that she's a bit camera shy at the moment. So the queen is on this frame. She's marked with a red dot. So we'll pop this frame back in nice and gently, because we know we have our queen on here. We don't want to crush her. And then we can close this colony back up, knowing that we have a queen-right colony. Yeah, so not a very well-mannered colony, to say the least. But hopefully that queen will introduce some better genetics, and we'll be able to have a calmer colony. So we'll take the feeder off, because they have enough stores in there for the size of the colony that we've got, and then we can pop the roof on and complete our inspection. So not a particularly pleasant inspection. I was stung 2 or 3 times, and the sooner that queen calms those bees down, the better. I suspect it'll be the spring now. We need to wait for her genes, her genetics to move through the colony, and hopefully come next spring they'll be a lot calmer and much nicer to handle. But it's good to see that the queen has started laying. We've got a nice brood pattern developing, and we should have now enough bees to see that colony through the winter with the winter bees that she's now producing. My thanks to Paul at Happy Valley Honey for supplying us with all of this fabulous equipment. We will do a kind of season-long resume, just go back over the season and talk a bit about the equipment that we've been using and my thoughts on that equipment. So look out for that video. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll catch up next time. Thanks for watching.